Love endures. Somebody isn't over you. Somebody has needed to take time going in completely the opposite direction in order to come back to the understanding that it was always you. Something that this person may have known very early on in your connection with one another. This could have been a love at first sight. This could have been something where they got a lot of signs and synchronicities that you were the person that they were trying to manifest into their reality. They were praying would arrive. They were preparing themselves for your arrival. And then you showed up in a very unexpected way, or at a time in their life where they felt very confident, and all of that crumbled the minute that they kissed you, the minute that you stepped out of just being like their dream girl and you became a real person in the flesh with your own needs, wants, and desires that may or may not have aligned totally with their needs, wants, and desires. You know, kind of just the reality of romantic relationships, or all human relationships in general, that it feels like shattered a lot of illusions, or it might have been something that was just, it was too real for this person. It feels like you catalyzed a spiritual awakening within this person. This is somebody who's been through at least one dark night of the soul since the two of you parted ways with one another. This is somebody who, in many ways, is completely transformed from the person that you remember. And it feels like there's a sense of, it's like this version of them is the one that's worthy of standing by your side. This version of them is the one that has been made worthy to hold your hand in the light of day. This version of them is able to walk with you through the ups and downs in life, and not flinch and not falter. Or if they flinch and falter, they're able to right themselves again. They're able to kind of pick up the pieces in a way that they weren't able to before. So this may have been somebody who needed to go through certain challenges, like the challenge of losing you. Maybe they watched you being whisked away into the arms of another, and so you've been like the one that got away. Or there's a deep-seated fear of that at this particular point in time. If I wait any longer, this enduring love, this person that like I still love, or I'm finally ready to admit that I love you, or I've loved you all along, you're going to become someone else's blessing. So this is somebody that it feels like with this little ship right here, this is like the energy of the Chariot. This is somebody who has created balance. They've achieved balance within themselves. They've needed to, or they felt it was necessary in order to win you back, in order to earn you back. And so they are headed in your direction. They are no longer needing to think about things. They're no longer needing to plan. They're no longer needing to, sit in the energy of denial. It's like that took them in completely the opposite direction. This is somebody that wants to come home to you. This is somebody that wants to reveal the truth in their heart, that they've always loved you, that they still love you, that the love and the feelings that they have for you mysteriously have grown through time, no matter how much they've tried to push those away or extinguish those feelings, deny those feelings. It's like you're burning hotter and brighter than ever within them. And so, yeah, this is like the return of an unexpected person. Somebody that feels like that you thought, I'm never going to hear from them again. You've closed out that chapter. This may have been your hardest lesson or experience in love, but it's the kind of energy where it's like you might have held out hope that maybe they'll come to their senses, maybe they'll change their mind, maybe they'll see the light, maybe they'll follow their heart instead of allowing fear to determine their course of action. And you held out hope as long as you could, and then you needed to step away. For some of you, there's still an ember of hope which burns inside of you for this person, and they can feel that. That's calling them home to you. That's encouraging them to try and repair the situation, fix what has been broken or what has been lost here. They see that you're worth the effort that it will take in order to retrace their steps back towards you. Whatever's required in order to build trust between the two of you again. A level of honesty they weren't capable of before, to give that to you fully. And it feels like if you're resonating with this so far, with that energy of love endures, this is definitely somebody like, yeah, you would be very happy if this person knocked on your door. You'd be very happy to get that text message, that phone call, that DM, that email. It's like you've been waiting for this person. It's like wrapped in some kind of long-term saga with them. It's like past life energy. You've been two ships in the night in many lifetimes, or maybe many times in this particular life, but this is a sense of almost like somebody that doesn't want to waste any more time. They don't want to keep fighting their feelings. The answer is you. It's always been you. They keep coming back around to that emotionally, and so this is somebody that feels like that they're putting in a lot of effort at this point in time to make their way back towards you. Yeah, we have faith. And with all those little butterflies there, this is something where you still really captivate this person. They may have looked you up on social media. They've seen you recently. They might have seen you recently out and about, or somebody kind of like shared information about you. Maybe somebody even like shared a photograph of you now, like with this person. And it's like you take their breath away. You are more radiant than they remember. You are more beautiful than they remember. Their heart remembers you. Their soul remembers you. And what might have been butterflies in the past that made this person very nervous and think like, I don't know if I can do this. It makes me feel very ungrounded, or, they weren't prepared necessarily for that idea of like a spiritual awakening, a kundalini awakening, heart chakra activation. All of that might have really just kind of knocked this person off their square. They needed to take some time apart, or you needed to be kind of like pushed into separation for something within this person to be kind of shed or stripped away in order for like a better version of them to rise, for them to conquer their own shadow in some sort of way, or a lesser version of them that wasn't worthy of you, a lesser version of them that wouldn't have been able to kind of, stand with you in working towards that happily ever after. A version of them that it's kind of like rejection, or, them running away. It was like divine protection for you in a sense. But they've metamorphosized. This is somebody that hasn't just changed one aspect of their life. There are many changes that have taken place within this person. Like it's the same person, but they are so new or so upgraded in a lot of different ways that it's going to be like you're meeting them again for the first time. And it's like your faith in this situation. Maybe you've tried to move forward with your life, but you've always kind of kept that energy within of like, I would be open to hearing what this person has to say if they've actually changed. I would be open to reconnecting with this person if they can come to me in a different way than was the case before. I would be open to reconnecting with this person because my soul just registers with them. And it may be something that you've even kind of put it on the shelf as sort of like, okay, I'm always going to love this person, but if they're not, meeting me halfway or more than halfway in the material world, I have no choice but to kind of just put this aside, put this down, and move forward with my life. Seek happiness and joy elsewhere. And it feels like you've done a very beautiful job of doing that, coming to a place of acceptance with what has happened and where things are, which has been some breathing room that this person required in order to go through some kind of process of transformation. Karmic cycles they needed to break out of, or to understand, or to be kind of pulled out of through the hand of the divine. This person may have really gone through the ringer in the time since you've parted ways with one another. It feels like the energy of what they would bring forth to you, what they'd tell you, even the way that they talk, or the things that are like a priority for this person, how they're living their life, all of that would be evidence of kind of like, yeah, this is somebody who's really gone through a change. This is somebody that was forced to change, or they loved themselves enough to choose better. This isn't somebody that comes forth with empty promises. This is something that even like their vibe, their energy may be very different, as is yours. Your vibe and energy is very different. Your life is very different. The two of you needed that separation in order for the divine to kind of work with each of you, kind of help to mold you into the people that you are today. And so this person has gotten like a lot of indicators. This is the time to move forward. They may have gotten, again, like a lot of signs and synchronicities in the past, and they doubted those things. Or it may have been something that was very like outside of their comfort zone. It scared them. Why am I getting all these signs and synchronicities? Like, what's happening? What's happening to me as a result of having connected with this individual? Our experiences with one another has led to all these other phenomenon that are happening in my life, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, where it's almost like you got a glimpse of one another. You got a taste of something that was possible. And now it's time. Now you are both kind of prepared to be givers and receivers of one another in a more evolved way. Like it's a higher level love that you can now anchor in to the 3D plane. And so this is somebody that, they're listening to those signs and synchronicities. They didn't follow their instinct in the past. They took another route, and they paid dearly for that. They miss you. They love you. They feel the loss of this connection, and they have this whole time. And so this is somebody that's like, okay, these signs and synchronicities have come back around. I have readied myself. I've prepared myself. I've gone into the wilderness and I've cleansed myself. I'm reborn. I have become someone else. I am living another life within this same lifespan. And so it's this version of them that is prepared to go all the way with you. It's this version of them that can bring forth that transformative love and can meet you at that level, different from what you've both known in the past with other people and with one another. Yeah, like attracts like. So this is somebody you've been walking a parallel path with. This could be a twin flame or a high-level soulmate, or somebody where it's like when you reconnect and you kind of, you catch up, you sort of make up for lost time. You're going to exchange stories about experiences that you've had that's really going to make the two of you, it feels like a believer in that idea of like soulmates, twin flames. You were going through similar things, maybe not the exact details of those experiences, but kind of the lessons at play, the choices that you made in order to move through those things or endure certain things that, you maybe didn't have any other choice but to just kind of sit and wait it out. Wait for, calmer waters to progress forward in different sorts of ways. All of that is going to give you a deeper appreciation and an understanding for one another on a deep empathic level, of the fact that this is no ordinary love. This is not just a circumstance of, two people who maybe made wrong choices in the past and there's an opportunity for redemption. But there's something about this kind of like moment of reconnection, or the early kind of stages of getting to know one another again, or again, like making up for lost time, where you're both obviously, and in a way that you can talk about out loud, you're going to be like, yeah, there is divine intervention at play. There was divine guidance. We have been divinely guided both away from one another and back to one another. You're operating on the same frequency before. It's almost like you needed to be tuned to this moment in time, to this frequency you're both capable of holding inside of yourselves, because you were only kind of able to get little pops of that in the past, little kind of moments of that in the past. It wasn't sustainable in a long-term sense. It needed to kind of crash and burn and fall apart in order for the two of you to go through certain shaping experiences in your lives in order to come into this version of yourself, maybe where you can appreciate one another more, you can appreciate the uniqueness of this experience more, or there's something in terms of like that frequency you're both able to access. Maybe you're both aligned with a spiritual path at this point. It may even be divergent paths, like different paths, but it's the same concept. Or it could be something where, you're able to kind of really understand one another and walk hand in hand down a shared spiritual path. That being a necessary component of whatever was kind of the ultimate purpose of meeting this person, or for a lot of you reuniting with this person in this particular lifetime. It's not just kind of like, here's this familiar soul that you've known in other incarnations, but like in the here and now, you're meant to kind of walk further in some kind of purpose, some kind of mission. You both might be light workers, something where it's like you need to do that work of the personal alchemy in order to kind of balance the light and shadow within yourselves, in order to be able to meet that in another person more adequately. And you both have done that very effectively. So it feels like the universe is giving this person the green light to come towards you. And unlike in the past where they may have kind of just hesitated, or they went off in another direction, this is somebody that's beelining towards you. This is somebody that's like, yes, I'm progressing towards you now. Yeah, be willing to express love. So this is somebody that wants to say all the things that they were too afraid to say before. They want to do all the things they were too afraid to do before. They want to make up for the lost time between the two of you with a lot more consistency. This is somebody that it feels like has learned to be more open with themselves, emotionally speaking. And so they're able to receive the spectrum of emotions that you're capable of without being so triggered by certain wounds. This might be somebody that was very triggered by the idea of love. They may have had commitment issues in the past, or, you know, a lot of kind of like wounding that they needed to deal with, and they put a lot of that to rest. This is somebody that's been doing a lot of work. They may have gone out of their way to try and understand these wounds. It feels like they regretted pushing you away or running away from you. They regretted that very immediately. You have been an inspiration, a reoccurring theme, and kind of a central focus in their journey in the time since you've been apart from one another. And they're ready to kind of express that to you. They're ready to give you credit for that. They're ready to claim you and to declare you as an inspiration for the person that they've become today. We also have actions speak louder than words. Yeah, so this is somebody that you've been connecting with in the 5D for a very long time. Again, this is like twin flame energy. This is high level soulmate energy. And it is finally the time to anchor down this love story as it was meant to be lived and to be experienced and co-authored by the two of you into the here and now. So this is somebody that if they left you guessing in the past, or their actions really conflicted with what you were sensing energetically or what your intuition was telling you, there's something where they've come into a place of alignment within themselves where they're able to follow through on promises that they make. They're able to act and speak and behave with you in a way that more clearly lets those intentions be known, and also in a way maybe offering a lot of healing to you as far as doubting your intuition in the past because the energies felt an alignment, or you felt this person was coming back around and then they never turned back up. For some of you, there may have been these temporary periods of reconnection only to have things fall apart. But for a lot of you, this has just been like complete radio silence, maybe for a stretch of time. And this is somebody that is now prepared within themselves. They're ready within themselves to commit fully to you, to be involved with you as a partner and as a participant, not just in the connection, but in life in general, in a more all-encompassing way than was the case before. So if this is somebody that left you with a lot of doubts or a lot of uncertainties, a lot of hurt and heartbreak before, this is something that they understand there's a lot of wounds they need to kiss within you. They want to take a gentle approach, but they also want to be very firm and very obvious in terms of like what they're giving into this situation so that you don't doubt their intentions. Yeah, and we also have back to what you love. So this is somebody who is making their way back towards you quickly is what I'm hearing. They don't want to waste any more time. They miss you. They want to kiss you. They want to hold you. They want to look into your eyes. You are everything that they have ever wanted. And they have refined themselves in a way that they're not going to turn away or run away from the reflection of love that you have always exuded towards them. They want to make up with you. They want to get this connection started again. They want to do things right. They want to do everything that they didn't do before. So for a lot of you, get ready. You're about to reunite with a happily ever after, the love of your life, or somebody that is able to really give you that deep and all-encompassing love that you are worthy of, that you are deserving of, and that you've been preparing yourself for this whole time. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Please like the video or comment in order to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another video. Please take care and be well.